Happy New Year to all our esteemed viewers, and you're welcome to the very first episode of Nimasa this year 2026. This is your ultimate maritime show. It is a new year and a great opportunity for us to do great exploit. As we start on a glowing note, it promises to be an exciting one, especially for all our maritime lovers, enthusiasts, stakeholders, and even newcomers to the maritime sector. I remain your regular anchor on the show, Moyolua Olutayo. Tighten your belts, we are about to go on a cruise. Are you ready?
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
Once again, you're welcome to the show. It's Nimasa this week, and if you're just joining us, you're right on time. The ocean supports a wide range of industries such as shipping, fishing, and tourism, thereby providing a significant source of livelihood for billions of people worldwide. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
The Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy has launched its Enterprise Content Management System, ECMS, a move that the ministry sees as leading its digital transformation and institutional reform agenda. The system was unveiled during the ministry's fourth quarter 2025 stakeholders and citizens engagement held in Abuja. The official launch was conducted jointly by the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Dr. Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, and the Head of Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack. Delivering his keynote address, Dr. Oyetola described the engagement as a defining moment in Nigeria's drive to reposition the marine and blue economy as a critical pillar of economic diversification, growth, and global competitiveness.
Our engagement with stakeholders and citizens is not a ceremonial exercise. It is a deliberate governance tool, along with the renewal of agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and anchored on the belief that sustainable reform can only be achieved through dialogue, trust, and collective responsibility. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the marine and blue economy sector occupies a central place in Nigeria's economic diversification strategy. With our extensive coastline, fast inland waterways, and strategic geographical position, Nigeria is uniquely placed to harness maritime trade, logistics, fisheries, aquaculture, tourism, and other services as engines of inclusive growth, job creation, and regional integration.
The minister also noted that the Nigeria's election into Category C of the International Maritime Organization and its emergence as chairman of the Conference of Ministers of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea underscore renewed global confidence in Nigeria's maritime leadership, governance reforms, and policy direction.
On the international front, Nigeria's recent election into Category C of the International Maritime Organization stand as a strong affirmation of our renewed global relevance, credibility, and leadership within the international maritime community. It reflects sustained reforms in maritime governance, safety, security, and regulatory oversight. In the same vein, I'm honored to note our election as the chairman of the Conference of Ministers of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea. This responsibility further underscores the great confidence of our regional and international partners in Nigerian leadership, policy direction, and commitment to sustainable fishery management.
On our part, The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, commended the ministry for its far-reaching reforms and notable achievements, particularly the success launch of the ECMC, describing the digital platform as a significant step towards paperless governance, improved records management, and more efficient service delivery within the public service.
The Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy occupies a uniquely strategic space in our national architecture. From ports and shipping to maritime safety, ocean resources, and coastal development, this ministry sits at the intersection of trade, security, sustainability, and economic growth. It is therefore both symbolic and strategic that a ministry overseeing our waters has chosen to sail decisively into digital governance rather than remain anchored in a paper-based process.
The engagement, which attracted a wide spectrum of stakeholders from across the marine and blue economy value chain, was held under the theme Positioning Nigeria's Marine and Blue Economy for Investment, Innovation, and Expansion, the Pathway.
You're still watching Nimasa this week. We appreciate all our esteemed viewers and even our newcomers on the show. The maritime industry holds enormous benefits for maritime lovers and stakeholders. Stay tuned as we bring you interviews with our stakeholders. I'll be right back.
For me, I will start with the mandate of the regulatory authorities. Every regulatory authority, Nimasa inclusive, are given clear mandates based on the Establishing Act. So for Nimasa, the key thing will be on strengthening maritime security and safety, expanding technology-based surveillance. Yes, thank God we have C4I, the Blue project that is on there, ensuring that it continues to sustain the positive reports that the world is receiving, which is seen through data. We also should look at the agencies supporting the blue economy. We should now have clearly mapped out maritime cluster of Nigeria and MSP, the maritime spatial planning, and enforcing them in Nigeria. The agency too, based on its enabling acts, should also look at ensuring environmental protection and climate actions are all implemented. Of course, the topical issue today in the maritime is a digital transformation. We need to positively move along, jump on the moving train with respect to digital transformation, electronic certificates, and the rest. Autonomous and semi-autonomous vessels are gaining grounds. We should be training people in readiness for those conventions coming into play. There's also the seafarers aspect. So we should also be positioned to ensure that every aspect of MLC 2006 convention based on seafarers' welfare are complied with, are enforced on our vessels and foreign vessels coming in. There is also the issue of port efficiency. What can we do to support the Nigerian Shippers Council and other sister agency? In terms of local capacity, again, Cabotage Act is there. It's a big responsibility that's been passed on to Nimasa, so we should also ensure that the dream of the founding father, the fathers that came up with the Cabotage Act, the dreams are actualized. And as ship owners, whenever ship owners are being interviewed, they will have positive things to say about the act and the enforcement of the act. Research, innovations, data-driven decisions, there are quite a lot. In a nutshell, we should look at having our key performance indicators, what some companies call critical success factors, all listed out. And that at the end of the year, with all the stakeholders, we start taking on this aspect, how have we done? Objectively, not subjectively. Objectively being assessed on all the things and all our achievements. So we should have all these things articulated. So at the end of the year, at the end of every year, we'll present it to the world and say, hey, this is our scorecard, what we have done and how we have done and what we are planning to do in future. So now it's a good year, and thank God for the minister, thank God for the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy and the DG of Nimasa. I have no doubt that we will actualize the mandates that were given to us.
In our opinion, in our own sector, for us to tell Nimasa what they should be able to do in 2026 and beyond, sir, is for them to intensify more and more all the programs they have started, they have carried on. Because right now they are coming in a mass. They are doing so many things in the industry. They should not drop anyone that they have started from the day one, to make sure that they complete every project about Nimasa for Dokoka, for Seafarer, and for the entire marine sector. For we, they should, first and foremost, they should do more training and more enlightenment for Dokokas and for seafarers. Secondly, look into the school, the training schools, what they can do to make them improve and to be able to get to the international standard that everybody deserved. Both Dokoka and both seafarer and both the industry. And lastly, the peace that we are enjoying, let us be able to what? Sustain it as a nation, as a trade union, and other stakeholders, which is Nimasa is the one who is driving this vessel as of today. So therefore, we're going to tell them that their focus will be one. They should do intensive training for Dokokas, for seafarers. Because if you look at it very well, sir, if we have this age of Dokokas and you're not training them, in another 2-3 years, sir, they will be age off. And the younger ones cannot come in when you don't want train the other ones. Secondly, sir, let us make this job a very juicy one for the Dokokas and also even for the seafarers, for what we have done. We need more training for seafarers, for Dokokas. We want to make sure that our training schools should be recognized internationally, so that tomorrow if we drop our paper in any shipping company outside Nigeria, they will not say, yes, Nigeria have gotten to category C and they're also even doing what is right. So therefore, your certificate can be what? Be recognized. Let Nimasa to make sure that push to make sure that the Nigerian certificate will be recognized beyond the shores of this country. That is what we expect Nigerian Nimasa to do more for us for 2026.
I think now that Nimasa has successfully, together with the ministry, gotten this Category C council seat. I think the next focus is to standardize and look at all the policies and see to it that these policies and regulation are supporting growth in the industry. And I think we, the operators in the industry, are open to have this engagement with Nimasa, to be able to sit and come up with strategies or models that will only create more growth in this industry. Because we believe, as a country, Nigeria, we should be the greatest or the biggest shipping nation on the continent of Africa. We are, by grace of God, already given all the resources to do that. So we need to now sit down, harness all these resources, create a strategy that will now put us in that position. Because yes, over the years we have been unable to achieve that, and some countries in Africa are surpassing us. Today, if you look at the ports, Nigeria is not even in number 5 of the largest ports in the continent. So we have countries that are not up to our level in terms of size of economy, in terms of size of people or size of the market, now being the first ones or the ones in front of us. We think that should not be. Already by the grace of God, we are being positioned to be the largest in the continent. We are the largest in population. We are the largest in many of the resources that is there, natural resources. We have so much. We have the largest number of young, youthful population in the continent. And we have so much Nigerians who are talented, that have a lot of competence and capacity. So why can't we be the biggest? So I am sure that this is the time now for Nimasa, being the regulatory body, to sit with the industry and see and create a strategy and say, we have to go there. We have to reach, we have to be the biggest, so that we can be the one championing whatever is supposed to be done in maritime in the continent. Because we are, by the grace of God, are already positioned to take that lead. So we have to take the lead.
I will enjoin Nimasa to ensure that this victory at the IMO is sustained. We should endeavor to sustain that which we have strived so hard to achieve 14 years ago. And not only sustaining the victory at the IMO into the Category C of the IMO Council, we should work harder towards, aspire towards sitting in Category B. And like I said earlier, I don't see anything wrong with us aspiring to sit with Category A nations. So that's one. Another important role or priority focus for Nimasa in the year 2026 and looking ahead will be the need for full digitalization of the regulatory body. The world has gone digital, and our country should do so. Our industry must follow suit. And that should be another priority focus for Nimasa, to ensure that there is full digitalization of our regulatory and operational processes, including survey, inspection systems, and seafarer certification. Seafarer certification is very important. I mean, as we all know, the seafarers are like the neck or the spinal cord to the industry. And where the spinal cord is broken, you can imagine that, the body collapses. So the seafarer certification
also needs to enjoy full digitalization. Domestic shipbuilding, offshore operations, and sustainable resource exploration. These areas of the industry are very germane to the growth of our economy. So Nimasa should focus on strengthening the blue economy framework in this regard. Furthermore, for me, the priority focus for Nimasa would be improving maritime security. Now, this is, everybody knows that maritime security is a necessary for our investors. It's a necessary for the growth of our industry. So we need to continue to improve our maritime security. Kudos that we are still sustaining the zero tolerance at the Gulf of Guinea. Now, the post-state control performance is another priority focus that I believe that Nimasa should consider, the post-state control performance. Now, this is to ensure compliance and to reduce detentions of ships, and also ensure that we build trust with other port users, particularly within the region.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
For year 2026 and beyond, for a regulatory body like Nimasa, I will say that one of the things that should be done is to ensure the sustainability of the security gains in the Gulf of Guinea, because it's one of the premises of which we campaign for the Category C. We should also ensure that piracy remains at zero as much as possible, so that that confidence is retained. Don't forget that, I mean, before you know it, this session is over and we're going for another election. So we want to be able to get in again without as much struggle as we've had now. And it will deepen, we need to deepen safety and compliance enforcement, and make sure that if there are IMO conventions that we have not domesticated or we have not signed, we sign all of them, that is Nimasa signs, and domesticate and enforce. If we do all of that, then I'm sure we'll be in good standing for the next election.
That's all we have for you on today's show. As we drop anchor, we hope you enjoyed the show as much as we have. Don't forget to join us again next week on the same platform for more stories, more insight, and more of the maritime world. Until I come your way again next week, I remain your anchor on the show, Moyioluwa Olutayo. Stay anchored on knowledge and keep exploring. Bye for now.